Why is it that someone can do everything right, work hard, stay late, play by the rules, and still lose it all overnight? Picture this: a single mother, top performer at her firm, praised in every review. Then the economy dips, just a few percentage points. Suddenly she's let go with a vague cost-cutting excuse. No misconduct, no failure, just gone. You think that's rare? It's not. It's the default for most people, caught in what Nassim Taleb calls the asymmetry of fragility. You're exposed to all the downside, while the upside flows elsewhere, usually up. That's not just bad luck, it's a rigged game. And the rigging is invisible. No sirens, no signs, just a subtle tilt. You take on all the risk. The investor who caused the crash, he gets a bonus. You lose your job, your health insurance, your footing in the world. It's like playing roulette, where you bet your house. And they bet with house money. Taleb warns us in Antifragile that systems built this way don't just punish failure. They hide who actually caused it. You suffer. They skate. Here's the kicker that's not a kicker. Effort isn't protection. Not in a system designed to offload risk onto the people with the least power. You're told to hustle, grind, prove your worth. But you're swimming in a current that pulls the other way. And no one tells you that until you're already under. So the question isn't just why do people fail, it's why do the wrong people always seem to pay the price? And that leads us to something even more uncomfortable. Who actually benefits from that setup? Effort worship versus cold reality. You've heard it your whole life. Work hard and you'll make it. Put in the hours. Grind harder than the next person, and success will eventually follow. But let's be honest, that idea sells better than it works. Look at the taxi driver. He wakes up before dawn, drives till midnight, 7 days a week, no vacations, no safety net, 80 hours a week behind the wheel. Rain, traffic, risk of accidents, risk of everything. And yet, he barely scrapes by. One bad month, one injury, and it all unravels. Now compare that to a derivatives trader who clicks a button at the right moment, makes a speculative bet, and walks away with 7 figures. He doesn't have to understand the real economy. He doesn't have to sweat. He just needs access. Access to risk with no downside. That's the game. Taleb's point in Antifragile is brutal but clear. Systems reward exposure to positive black swans, those unpredictable high-impact wins. Not grinding, not reliability, not showing up every day. You can kill yourself working and still stay invisible. Meanwhile, someone else rides a lucky wave they didn't even see coming and gets treated like a genius. The truth? Effort isn't irrelevant, but it's not the currency we were told it was. In fragile roles, more effort just means you break harder when things go wrong. You absorb the shocks. You are the cushion. So next time you hear someone praise the hustle, ask yourself, is this about real reward or just a way to keep people running on fumes? Because once you see how upside really flows, you can't unsee it. History's winners weren't the hardest workers. Let's get something straight. History's winners were almost never the hardest workers. The pharaoh didn't build the pyramids. The emperor didn't till the fields. The merchant prince didn't row his own ships. While peasants broke their backs from sunrise to sunset, wealth flowed up to the ones with leverage. Land, armies, networks, or just the right bloodline. Fast forward to now. The faces have changed, but the mechanics haven't. Tech founders who launch one viral app, often copied from someone quieter, get more in a year than a lifetime of honest labor ever could. An influencer can film a 10-second video and rake in more money than a teacher makes in 5 years, not because they hustle harder, but because their leverage, audience, capital, distribution is exponential. Take the case of two inventors. One spends years in a garage, working nights, maxing out credit cards, trying to bring something bold into the world. He fails quietly. No PR team. No connections. Meanwhile, a slicker version of his idea hits the right boardroom. The copycat lands an IPO and becomes a billionaire. That's not exceptional. That's the norm in systems built on asymmetry. Taleb calls this nonlinear payoff, the idea that one small input, if you're in the right position, can lead to massive returns. Meanwhile, millions pour in tons of effort, and it barely moves the needle. So no, history doesn't reward who works the hardest. It rewards who's positioned to benefit when something unpredictable hits. And once you start seeing history through that lens, the story of meritocracy starts to look a whole lot more like mythology. Taleb's lens, skin in the game. So what does real success look like through Taleb's eyes? It's not about effort for effort's sake. It's about exposure to both the upside and the downside. That's what he calls skin in the game. If you win, you gain. If you lose, you bleed. No insulation. No hiding behind titles or corporate safety nets. Now think about two people. One's a mid-level manager at a big firm. Steady paycheck, tight deadlines, no real ownership. She works hard. She's reliable. But when the company tanks, she's laid off. No equity, no upside. Her security was actually fragility dressed in a suit. Now take an entrepreneur. He's got no salary. He eats what he kills. But if his product hits, if he catches that wave, he captures the full reward. He's exposed, yes, but he also owns the volatility. This is the core of Taleb's idea of antifragility. Some things don't just survive chaos, they need it. A startup, a decentralized network, a risk-aware investor, they thrive in disorder. They learn, adapt, expand. Meanwhile, overly structured systems, like bureaucracies or traditional jobs, crack the moment randomness shows up. So sweating harder? That's not the metric that matters. What matters is, are you fragile, robust, or antifragile? Are you protected from volatility, or do you grow from it? Because the world doesn't reward resilience alone. It rewards those who benefit from shocks others can't handle. And once you start seeing your own life through that lens, you might realize you've been trained to chase the wrong kind of safety. Which raises the next question: who built that training and why? Hard truths we'd rather ignore. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Randomness scares the hell out of us. So instead, we cling to the idea that hard work guarantees success. It feels safer that way. If you just grind long enough, you'll make it, right? But deep down, you know that's not how the world actually works. We love to celebrate the unicorn, the startup that hits $1 billion valuation, the founder who never gave up. But for every one of those, there are hundreds of others who gave just as much, maybe more, and ended up with nothing but debt, stress, and silence. No headlines, no applause. They vanish into the fog of what Taleb calls survivorship bias. The illusion that what we see is the whole picture when most of it is hidden beneath the surface. I once met a guy, sharp, obsessed with solving a real problem in healthcare. He burned through his savings, took no salary for 2 years, lived off instant noodles. Then, a better-funded competitor swooped in, copied his pitch deck, and raised 10 times more in 2 weeks. he shut down. No press release, no Medium blog, just erased. Meanwhile, the copycat gets a glossy Forbes spread as Visionary of the Year. And yet we need to believe in the hustle myth, because admitting that chance, access, or luck played a bigger role, that would mean we're not fully in control. And that's terrifying. But ignoring randomness doesn't make it go away. It just makes us blind to how power and success actually move. So if we really want to stop getting played, maybe it's time we stop lying to ourselves first. Think strategically, not strenuously. So where does that leave us? It's not about giving up, it's about wising up. If effort alone won't cut it, then stop thinking strenuously and start thinking strategically. The real game is about asymmetry, putting yourself in positions where the upside is unlimited and the downside won't destroy you. That's where the leverage is. That's where freedom lives. Look at someone who builds optionality, the freedom to pivot, experiment, take small risks with big potential. A writer who self-publishes a short ebook. A coder who builds tiny apps until one takes off. A connector who builds a strong network long before they need it. These people aren't grinding in a straight line. They're stacking dice in their favor. Contrast that with the person chasing the safe path, 60-hour weeks at a job that caps their upside and punishes any misstep. They do what they're told, follow the roadmap, and hope for a promotion that might never come. Then one day, burnout, or layoffs, or both. And they realize they were running full speed on a treadmill going nowhere. Taleb would say, don't be the sucker who carries all the risk with none of the reward. Instead, build situations that let randomness work for you. Play small bets. Build leverage. Keep your downside low, but your upside open-ended. That's not just smart, it's anti-fragile. Because the truth is, you don't need to work harder than everyone else. You just need to stop playing a game where hard work is rigged to lose. Let's talk about how to actually start shifting your strategy today. Unmasking the power of illusions. Let's be real, this myth didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was built, carefully, repeatedly, because someone benefits when you believe hard work is all it takes. Spoiler, it's not you. Corporations love the hustle story. Just work hard and you'll rise. Sounds noble, right? But it keeps you grinding while they collect the profits. Look at corporate slogans, "We're all family here," or "Go the extra mile." They're not promises. They're tools designed to make you feel morally obligated to overextend yourself for free. And it goes deeper. Political speeches glorify the self-made man. Schools reward obedience over risk-taking. Even ads wrap it all in patriotism. Blue-collar grit, bootstraps, never quit. It's emotional armor for a system that needs most people to stay stuck, chasing a carrot that was never real. Taleb points out that people in power rarely have skin in the game. A failed CEO gets a golden parachute. A politician tanks the economy and walks away with a book deal. Meanwhile, the people who actually worked, the teachers, the drivers, the frontline staff, they eat the fallout. That's not just unfair, that's engineered. Because if you believe success is only about effort, you'll keep pouring in time, energy, your life, while never asking who's pocketing the difference. That myth keeps the machine running, keeps you compliant, keeps you exhausted and proud of it. So ask yourself, who benefits when you believe effort alone is enough? Because until you start questioning the narrative, you'll stay stuck in someone else's story. Rewrite your playbook for reality. It's time to stop clinging to comforting illusions. The grind won't save you. Hustle won't guarantee anything but exhaustion. The world doesn't pay you for effort. It pays you for positioning, for leverage, for being in the right place when the right storm hits. So rewrite your playbook. Start thinking like a Talebian. Seek volatility. Don't hide from it. Own your risks. Place small, smart bets that could explode upward. Build optionality into your life. Multiple paths, low downside, high upside. Stop worshiping stability and start playing for asymmetry. Take this story. A burned-out graphic designer, loyal to a company that never gave her equity, raises, or real respect. She quits. Spends 6 months freelancing, testing offers, building an audience, learning to say no. Then she launches a niche design course. One tweet hits, sales explode. She didn't outwork anyone. She repositioned. She stopped trading time for money and started trading risk for upside. That's antifragile. This isn't about shortcuts. It's about clarity, about refusing to be the mule in a system designed to reward riders. It's about shifting from worker bee to player, from pawn to optionality holder, from fragile to someone who thrives in chaos. So forget the script they gave you. Write your own, one that actually works in the real world. Because once you stop worshiping effort and start learning how power, risk, and randomness really move, that's when the real game begins.